What the hell?
America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I will call this a regular Board of County Commissioners meeting to order on Tuesday, May 13th, 2025. And Chair will make a motion to approve the agenda with a slight change to order if we could, to move the Office of Development Services and Natural Resources report in front of our public hearing and move our JOLT conference report after. We have a couple of DARE graduations to accommodate today.
Second.
Motion and second, all in favor?
Aye.
And Chair would move to approve the consent agenda, items A as presented.
Second.
Motion and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. And now open for public comment. If anyone from the public has a public comment that they would like to share, anything.
That was quick. That was very quick. Good morning.
Morning.
Thanks for joining us.
I come to you again with a concern about that adorable squatty pavilion building. The best I can tell, the tentative plans for an event center show it gone, and that really saddens me. So I've taken a few notes from a document from Mr. Al Shepard. I don't know if you recall Mr. Al Shepard. He wrote a document about the fairgrounds and about the pavilion. According to Al, the pavilion was built in 1941 by the WPA. I had to look up what WPA was. It was the Works Progress Administration under the New Deal Agency during the Depression. The stone for that pavilion came from the same quarry as the courthouse. We've lost our courthouse. We knew it couldn't be saved, but there's no reason this pavilion could not be saved and worked around. I really want us to honor our history in Moffat County. Build an event center, but don't move or tear down that pavilion, please. It was used in World War II by the Army Radio School. I don't know how many people know that. So my question to you is, how many dances, receptions, fair entries, Kiwanis plays, after proms, how many of these kind of events took place in that cute, squatty little blocky building? And my heart just tells me I can't bear to see it removed. It's Moffat County's within those block walls. An event center, yes, it'd be great. It'd be a new thing, but we have to find a way to marry the two of them to keep that historic building and all of the memories. Think of people that, let's say in the early 50s, their only entertainment was coming into town to go into a dance or going to a dinner that was put on there. Please don't erase that. It's pretty precious. That's all I have to say about that. And I hope you can progress a little bit on the event center. My only other concern about it is I don't know if we have enough restaurants to feed the amount of people that might attend events. So I don't know how the two of those are going to go hand in hand, or if you're assuming that restaurants will come because there's an event center. I hope that's correct. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good to see you again.
Okay. Anyone else for public comment? All right. Any general discussion today?
No.
All right. Then we will move on to Office of Development Services. Yeah.
My pocket's full. Hello. Good morning. We're here for requesting to waive the bid process We are getting ready to purchase a utility vehicle for snow removal here at the courthouse. And during that process, we received a quote from US Tractor for a John Deere 590M in the amount of $25,867.61. This price is offered through the Sourcewell, which is a cooperative purchasing program for government agencies that meets competitive bidding requirements under Moffett County's purchasing policy. As per the county policy, any purchase exceeding $25,000 requires a formal bid unless the product or service is available through an approved cooperative purchasing agreement. Sourcewell contracts are competitively solicited and awarded, thus qualifying under this exemption. For comparison, a second quote was received from Rocky Mountain Machinery, which sells the Kubotas, for the Kubota RTV X2C priced at $29,030.78, which is approximately $3,100 higher than what the Sourcewell option is. The Office of Development Services recommends that the board approve the purchase of the John Deere 590M utility vehicle from US Tractor for the $25,867.61 and formally waive the bid process in accordance with the county's purchasing policy provisions for cooperatives agreements.
Does that come with attachments you need to remove the snow, or is this just the machine?
We have most of the
Oh, okay.
attachments for it, but this is
Well, this
the,
one looks like
what we need.
the blade, the plow blade is with this, right?
Yeah, well, it comes with one, yes.
Yeah, but the Kubota one doesn't.
Um, that is correct.
So you getting a, but John Deere's a better deal because you get a
Yep.
snow blade with it. Yeah. Still cheaper.
Typically, the Sourcewell is
Yeah.
the least. And because we're a county agency or government agency, that helps as well. So.
Chair, I would make a motion to approve the recommendation from Development Services to award the bid to US Tractor for the amount of $25,867.61.
So approve waiving the bid process.
Oh, we probably should do that first, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, I'll erase that. I'll make a motion to waive the bid process first.
Second.
Motion and a second to waive the bid process. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Now I'll make a motion to go as recommended by the Development Services to approve the purchase of a John Deere 590M utility vehicle from US Tractor in the amount of $25,867.61.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
And we'll
Thanks,
go
Neil.
with the Natural Resources Department, Jeff Comstock.
Morning, Commissioners. Thank you for moving the schedule a little bit. I have two things to present to you. We'll start off with the first one, which is Resolution 51 regarding establishing a regional transit authority. And this is a unique one. We're asked to provide what they keep calling the flagpole, which is a connection between the border of Routt County and the border of the city of Craig, because the Regional Transportation Authority has to be contiguous. And so you're being asked to consent to that connection along Highway 40 through this agreement. In your packet, there's a map on the backside that shows what we're actually talking about. This requires no financial commitment from the county. This is a philosophical agreement that says because that corridor is in your turf, that you'll consent to that connection between the two. Ultimately, I think this is going to benefit both Routt County and the city of Craig through all kinds of transportation issues. Voters will have to vote to decide whether to tax themselves on it. So this is a procedural request in order to connect the two cities, or to the county, Routt County and City of Craig. And the resolution in front of you just says that. It says hereby consents to the boundary on the map in Exhibit A. So if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. Otherwise, I'd look for support of Resolution 51.
I would just note in our conversations with this that they have stated that they wouldn't be looking for any additional taxing authority on that section either. It's all just in the easement, the highway easement.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point. So any landowner along the edge of that road would not be in some kind of a tax district or increase their property taxes. And the boundary is the right of way of the highway.
Board's pleasure.
I make a motion to approve resolution number 2025-51.
Second.
Okay, you have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Okay. The second item in front of you is asking for $6,500 to contribute to a blueprint for the Rockies natural gas study that'll be conducted by the Western States and Tribal Nations Energy Initiative. And you'll remember this organization from right when Hickenlooper left office and Polis came into office. This organization represents states all over California, Arizona, Pacific Northwestern states, and into the interior U.S. And their goal is to come up with a West-wide energy transportation plan and development. So to move natural gas out of the Piceance Basin or out of any of the basins into worldwide markets. And that includes LNG ports, and it includes energy transmission lines. And Hickenlooper was joining the Western States and Tribal Nations. When Polis came into office, he refused to participate in that organization because he didn't want to support fossil fuel development. And the western counties of Colorado decided to join separately rather than the whole state. And so over the years, we've been a member, we've participated in their initiatives. This is the first time we've been asked to participate in actually funding a study that will be publicly available and actually identify routes to efficiently move gas throughout the country and even the world. And so they've asked for Colorado to contribute only $25,000 out of the $1.5 million study that will identify this. And so Mesa, Garfield, and Rio Blanco County have already made those commitments. And so I'm in front of you today to ask for Moffett County's commitment to that study.
Well, I think we all think it's, if anything, it just solidifies our stance on fossil fuels, right? I mean,
It does.
It tells, we're still for them, when it's still needed, and the study, I think, will be beneficial not only to Colorado but to the nation, right? I mean,
It does, and it places us in a position to market what we are. The southern edge of Moffett County is of the very northern tips of the Piceance Basin. We have gas exploration occurring there even this year. We've got permits filed right on our county line, and so it's a collaborative effort between the counties in western Colorado to contribute to nationwide needing gas and worldwide needing gas. And this is a collaborative that doesn't exist anywhere else. We can't get this kind of unification from another organization.
Madam Chair, I'll make a motion to approve the request for Western States and Tribal Nations Energy Initiative Infrastructure Study in the amount of $6,500.
Second.
You have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion carries. All right.
Go celebrate your kids, Dare.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Those are important.
All right, and that puts us right at 8:45, just in time for our public hearing. Perfect timing. So let the record show that today's posted public hearing regarding the following: Union Wireless Conditional Use Permit C-2504 and, how do you say this? Shimizu minor subdivision S-2503. Letters were sent to adjacent landowners on April 14th. Legal ads were run on April 16th and April 23rd and posted on the county website. Once the public hearing has been declared open, I will ask Candace Miller, Planning and Zoning Coordinator, to present to the BOCC the request as submitted. Once the presentation is complete, the commissioners may ask questions or make comments. I will then ask the audience if there's anyone who wants to testify either for or against. Any citizen of Moffett County may testify once the public hearing has been declared and all information has been presented. For those who want to testify, you'll be asked to approach the commissioners, state your name for the record, and will be given 3 minutes to present your testimony either for or against. Erin Miller will be the timekeeper today, and she will notify the BOCC and the speaker that 20 seconds remain before your time is up. No decision will be made during the public hearing. This is an opportunity for you to provide testimony in favor or in opposition of the proposed request. The commissioners have the option of asking questions or answering questions related to the topic during the hearing process. Once the testimony has been heard, the public hearing will be declared closed and we will go back to regular session. I will then refer back to the board for discussion and a decision on said proposal. With that, I will now declare this hearing open, and Candace?
Erin, can you, we have Union up first.
Union.
To Shimizu. I think that's who she had on her list first.
I have Union or Shimizu. Either way.
Good morning, Commissioners. Before you, I have a minor subdivision. It's a Shimizu minor subdivision. The existing parcel located off of Highway 13 and County Road 93 as a 33-acre parcel. The owner of that parcel, the intent with this minor subdivision is the property is split by County Road 93. And so he is breaking that into 2 parcels because of that split with the county road. The initial thought was an exemption, but because he is under 35 acres, that was not possible. So minor subdivision, anything that creates an additional, so 2 to 4 parcels would be a minor. And so we went with the minor subdivision. There are no wells on this parcel and no intent to need wells. So the state had no concerns with the minor subdivision. I did not have anybody in attendance at the planning and zoning meeting in whether in support or opposition. I also did not receive any calls or visits from anyone who had any concerns about the minor subdivision. Also, we did not have a quorum at our planning meeting. So I'm presenting this to you. The board did, we did not have a quorum. We did take a few minutes just to look over it, but we were not able to make a formal recommendation.
Any questions for Candace?
Doesn't our, maybe I'm wrong here, that you could divide your land one time without,
An exemption,
Mhm.
but you have to have 35 acres.
Oh, it has to be.
Yep, to
total
start,
30
you have to have
start, it has
35,
30, okay.
yeah.
I knew you didn't have to have 35 and 35, but it has
Correct.
to start
Yeah.
with 35.
Yeah, so
I
the
got you.
minimum in ag is 5 acres, but in order to get that exemption, you have to have 35 to start. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And then once you reduce down past, under 35 acres, there's then issues with wells and stuff, so, yep.
Any questions? Okay. And I will now open it for anyone who wants to testify. If anyone in the audience would like to testify for or against the Shimizu minor subdivision S-2503, now is the time to speak. One more time. Anyone? No? All right. And I will declare that the public hearing is closed and refer back to my fellow commissioners.
Don't have any questions? You ready?
Good, yeah.
Hey, I'll make a motion to approve application S25-03 Shimizu minor subdivision.
I'll second that.
Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. I won't read the script again, but we will go back into public hearing on Union Wireless conditional use permit C-2504, and I will refer back to Candace.
So we have in front of you a application for conditional use. This is from Union Wireless or SAC. They had an existing, what they call a cow. It's the cart on wheels in this current location off of 9th Street since 2013. It's been on record with the county through a list of Craig locations for Union Wireless since that time. I was not able to find a previous conditional use for that location. I'm assumed that possibly because it was kind of a temporary unit that they did not permit it at that time. But it has existed since 2013 in that location. They are looking to build a permanent tower location. Where there is a map included in here, so where the cow is sitting, the site itself, they've made a couple small adjustments to their leased area so that they can get, because the setback from the property line has to match the height of the tower. So the existing tower, I believe, is 60 feet, and the new permanent tower is 100. And so their setback, their leased area has moved back to accommodate that setback. And so they've, made that agreement with the landowner. Their existing access off of 9th will not change to the site itself. They will fence that area. And so we're looking, I did notice the one adjacent landowner, and then obviously on the other side of the street, it's city. So I did send notices to the 5 homes that are directly in front of where that tower location is. They face that open field area. I did not hear from anybody. I don't know if anyone is here from those notices, but I did not hear from anyone with any opposition of that. Again, we did not have a quorum, so we cannot make a recommendation, but all the information is here.
Questions for Candace?
I don't know.
All right, then I will open this for testimony for or against Union Wireless conditional use permit C-2504. If anyone in the audience would like to testify for or against, now is your opportunity. One more time, just in case. All right. I will declare this public hearing closed and refer back to my fellow commissioners.
Chair, I make a motion to approve application C-25-04 for Union Wireless for conditional use permit for wireless communication tower site.
Second.
All right, motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Carries.
Thank you.
All right, now we'll roll back up to our JOLT Conference Committee, Ray Beck, who has a presentation for us on Resolution 2025-48. Good morning.
Good morning, Board of County Commissioners from Moffett. Thank you. Thank you for having me here this morning. For the record, I'd just like to start out by just saying that my name is Ray Beck. I'm the chair for the JOLT Committee, which stands for Joint Organizations Leading Transition, and our mission is to advocate, communicate, and educate. With these three goals in mind: advocate for energy impacted communities and sound policies, communicate the benefits of all the above energy economy, and educate the public about energy diversity. I think it'd be very appropriate that I mention the committee that I work with. And I know that you know most of these names. Sue Hansen, Montrose County Commissioner, Bobby Daniel, Mesa County Commissioner, Rose Puglisi, House District 14 Representative in Colorado Springs, Dr. Lisa Jones with CNCC, Mandy Miller, Grand Junction, used to work for Next Era Energy, Wendell Kuntz, Delta County Commissioner, and Matt Schuler, editor of the Jackson Star. So there's 8 of us that organize these energy summits. We're working now and in the process of organizing our 3rd annual Energy Summit, which is going to be held down at the Grand River Health Center in their conference room in Rifle, Colorado on June 26th and 27th. Those dates, again, the registration is $100, and we're looking forward to it. And with that being said, we're also in the process now of organizing our 4th annual Energy Summit, which is going to be held at Colorado Mesa University, either the 3rd week in June or the 4th week in June of next year. And with that being said, I presented an idea to the committee. They gave me their blessings to move forward. Then I went down to AG&C, Associated Governments in Northwest Colorado, and presented the same idea there. That idea involved working with Derek Wagner and his team, but at Colorado Mesa University to hold our energy conference there. But really what we'd like to do and accomplish is we'd like to invite Doug Bergman, Secretary of Interior, to be our keynote speaker for 2026. And we're asking for the counties and cities if they would adopt a common invite resolution or letter. And in this case, probably both, but specifically today on the agenda is the resolution, in partnership with the Executive Director for AG&C and the Chairman of the Board. A letter or resolution from 8 counties that would help support Jolt by signing and sending it to his office. And my feeling is in the committees is that we're stronger together than we are alone. So with that being said, I wanted to let you know that because it takes a while to get a response and confirmation, especially working with federal government, we are requesting this process needs to start sooner than later. The Secretary could come one day early, meet with our commissioners to discuss public lands, water, conservation easements, the Keystone Pipeline, and the future of energy independence for not only Colorado and Western Colorado, but for the nation. He might also be interested in taking a tour of the BLM office in Grand Junction, with that meeting scheduled at that office, working through AG&C. As you know, Congressman Jeff Hurd has made this one of his goals, to get the BLM office established again in Grand Junction. And as you know, we don't have a lot of friends at the federal level. So I think, relationships are important, and the Board of County Commissioners understands that. So with that being said, I know it's a little early in the game, but it takes a long time to get response. So I will let you know that currently we have a signed resolution from Grand County Commissioners, the Delta County Commissioners, and the Garfield County Commissioners. Today, I also heard from Matt Schuler, who is in Jackson County, that he'll be presenting this to his Board of County Commissioners as well. There's 8 counties, 7 actually, that financially support the JOLT Committee, the Energy Summit. And then Grand County is supporting this one. They don't support us financially, but they did support us by the resolution. And Grand County, Montrose County, and Delta County are associate members of AG&C. And then the rest of them actually are dues-paying members to, except for Jackson, dues-paying members to AG&C. And then on your resolution, there are just a couple points. The Secretary Bergman's leadership in defining coal, oil, and gas jobs, investing in energy infrastructure and carbon capture, and fighting back against overreaching federal land restrictions aligns directly with the values, vision, and lived experiences of Northwest Colorado communities. And I'm going to add, in particular, Moffett County, and also lines up with the JOLT mission. And so at the end of the day, we're requesting that you would sign off on this resolution and help us to get Secretary Bergman as our keynote speaker for next year at the 2026 Energy Conference. His participation in the summit would provide critical encouragement to rural energy producing communities working to remain part of this nation's energy future. So with that being said, I'll take any questions.
Question, Sam? Think it's a good idea?
Okay, thank you.
But
Thank you.
better to start early than late.
Yeah.
That ball rolling.
Yep.
All right.
Madam Chair, I'll make a motion to approve resolution 2025-48. Resolution requesting U.S. Secretary of Interior Doug Bergman to deliver keynote address at the Jolt 2026 Jolt Energy Summit.
Second.
All right, I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for your
Thanks, Ray.
flexibility. All right, now we'll move to Road and Bridge Department, Dan Miller.
Morning, sir.
Well, numbered by the numbers today.
We've got a couple of bid recommendations for you this morning. The first one is for a passenger van for the truck crew. We had this out for bid earlier in the year and we never got any qualified bids because we spec'd it out as a four-wheel drive. That's not available, so we changed it and put it out for bid again. We got two bids, one from One Nation Distribution in Pennsylvania for $77,997. And we got one from Victory Motors here in Craig for $47,693. And that's actually gonna go through, it's gonna be a Chevy, because Mopar doesn't make one. And it's gonna come through Johnson Auto Plaza in Brighton, who will handle the warranty work on it. But I recommend the Road and Bridge Department purchase the passenger van from Victory Motors in Craig for $47,693.
So if you have a warranty thing, you gotta take it all the way to Brighton?
Maybe.
Don't make sense when you have a Chevy dealer that has to do warranty work.
They were hand delivered the bid and they didn't.
But I'm talking about the warranty work,
I
right?
see what you're saying.
Yeah, they have to handle
They
the warranty
would
work
handle-
whether you buy it there or not, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, okay, all right. I understand buying it from Brighton because they didn't want to bid on it, but when it goes to, if we need something worked on to drive it to Brighton, don't make sense, right?
That's what it said in the bid packet that they returned to me, but yeah, I think you're 100% right.
Okay.
Chevy would do it.
The board's pleasure.
I'll make a motion to award the bid to Victory Motors of Craig for the Chevy passenger van in the amount of $47,693.
Second?
Motion is second. Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you.
Okay, the other one is for the landfill, for a low-speed shredder. And, what this is for mainly for tires. We have to send our tires out. There's a lot of very specific regulations from the HDP on tires on how you can handle them. This will shred them. We've already been using shredded tires. We had other people shred for alternative daily cover. We don't use up as much dirt. And it also will take a queen size mattress and when it's done, it'll fit in a 5-gallon bucket. We've seen a couple of these working and I think it'd really be a big help to us. And also do some of the C&D stuff and reduce our airspace. So we got 4 bids. One was from Pronar, the same one, from One Nation Distribution. They're the same ones that bid the van. But it was, I don't know what they were bidding, but they were under $29,000. So I called them, we talked briefly and I released them from their bid because it's not realistic. They didn't know what they were bidding.
They were bidding a commercial garbage disposal, I think, not a tire
DR shredder, maybe a herd of goats, I don't know. But the three bids that we did get. The first one was from 3R Machinery of Houston, Texas. And it's $398,609.78. Rio Blanco has one of these. We've watched it work and they're happy with it. Then we had a bid from American Pulverizer Company in St. Louis for $1,395,000. And one from Four Rivers Equipment out of Grand Junction for $1,177,862.51. Both of these machines will handle a lot more volume than what we need. We don't need, I mean, we obviously don't have that much volume in the landfill that we need that big of a machine. So I recommend that we purchase the shredder from 3R Machinery out of Houston for $398,609.78.
What was budgeted for that?
500,000.
There, I make a motion to go with 3R Machinery of Houston, Texas. For the low-speed shredder for $398,609.78.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dan. And the last thing on our agenda is human resources, which are HR and finance are in Texas training with Munis right now. So I'll cover that. We have been advertising for our county attorney position and have been able to do one interview. And one candidate that we interviewed, and we, as a board, need to be able to approve authorization for negotiations to begin for that candidate. It's the board's pleasure there.
Yeah.
Authorizing HR.
I would make a motion to give authorization to the HR department to begin negotiations with the county attorney candidate.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion?
It'll be nice to have an internal lawyer again if it works out.
Yes, it will. Yeah, CTSI has been good with coverage and obviously we contract out for specialty stuff, but it's nice to have that general counsel. So, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. And then the second item is our veteran service officer position. And we did do 2 interviews for that position. Because we're the direct supervisor for that position, we do have to offer the position in a public meeting. So this is our opportunity to do that. We interviewed on April 21st, James Brumblow and Veronica Roberts. And again, need to authorize HR to reach out and make that employment offer to one of those 2 applicants. So we'll be looking for an action there as well.
We're making the decision today on publicly on who this
We
candidate
are.
is. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and then HR will take over the
Yep.
reaching them and
Yep.
going through the employment offer and setting all that up.
I'll first say that I think it was good, to have 2 candidates. I think they both could have done a good job. But I think one had a little bit more experience in what we needed from what the state needed. And so I would make a motion that we ask HR to offer the job to Veronica Roberts. Appreciate James putting in for it and all your work and, yeah, that's what.
Second.
A motion and a second. Any further discussion?
Glad we had some applicants.
Yeah, it's nice to interview a couple.
Yeah. And I'll state too on that, it's kind of tough. You do have to be a veteran to even qualify for that position. And so it's good that we do have some veterans that are willing to step up and apply for that position. So appreciate them. All right, all in favor?
All right.
Aye.
Motion carries. And I believe that is it. Our next meeting will be Tuesday, May 27th at 8:30 a.m. right here. We're adjourned.